you click the button, and you hope it works. You never know. You never know until you're live. There we go. Grrrrr. Greetings, humans. Greetings, and welcome back to another fun-filled episode of Bear here, 29-year veteran of the woods. And today, boy, oh boy, do we have a show for you people today. Actually, haven't been around, what's this, week and a half, maybe or so. Had planned to do shows a little bit earlier, but, in between weather and other issues, you know what they say about living out in the woods. Sometimes it's beautiful. Sometimes it rains on your parade. So there we go. But you know what? We are back. We're back, and we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it live for you great people out there. By the way, speaking of which, before we get too far into this, Bear totally forgets about it. He does have a second channel out there, just for what am I trying to say? The live shows out there. So if you want to check out, let me just put it in the chat here. Let me do it here. Barely Live. There we go. Barely Live. That's the new, well, I don't know if it's new. It's just repeats of old shows there. But if you want to check out some of the older shows, go ahead and do that. We are going to be already started along the process of taking some of the stuff off of the main channel here. So if you want to check out some of the live shows here, do make sure you check those out. Yes, indeed. And also, we're going to have a very big, kind of important announcement here. I don't know, I still need to get a couple, ducks in the row, as it were. Do you know how hard it is for a bear to get ducks into a row? It's really hard. So, trying to get those ducks into a row, get all that stuff figured out here. But, coming up here pretty shortly, gonna have a big announcement for you great people out there. So, hopefully you'll be around to check it out. It'll be fun. Alright, well, we've got a number of things to get started here with. Of course, we've got our campaign updates. It's been a little bit, so we're gonna go ahead and do some of that. But you know what? Bear was out here today. The other day, actually. Watching the different stuff on the tubes, as it were, out there, and I came across some intriguing information. Kind of a surprise to Bear. Kind of seeing what's going on the TV and everything, on the tubes, as it were, out there. So, you have the sort of kind of confluence of events out there. Bear kind of sees, and man, oh man, I tell you what, you see this sort of I don't know how you describe it, sort of oh, I've got my fan on. Hold on. There we go. Probably hear Bear a little bit better. Came across something the other day. It was gotta be careful how we describe it here on the channel, but sort of a sort of a neo-fascist kind of a streak out of Europe there. Probably maybe trying to pit the United States up against Russia, maybe in some sort of nuclear confrontation there. Man, I tell you what, only so that they can, amass power for themselves by having the other two superpowers knock each other out. And you know what? They need to be stopped. They need to be stopped in time before they could take over the world. Is the plotline for the 2002 movie starring Ben Affleck and Morgan Freeman, called The Sum of All Fears. So who knew? If you want to check that out, on the tubes out there, it's interest. I don't know what you other people thought I was going to be talking about here, but interesting movie. Actually, Bear had another movie that I was going to recommend. It was called Death of Stalin, but I think I see where the drinker out there has already beat Bear to the punch. So I don't want to repeat stuff that he's already probably better explained and talked about there. But another movie to kind of check out there if you want is called The Sum of All Fears. It's actually kind of the title of our show here today. So go figure about that. I tell you what. All right, well, let's go ahead and get right on into it. Enough of this gibbering and jabbering about different movies out there from 20 years ago. I tell you what. So let's go ahead and get right on into it. First up, we got a couple to go through, actually. We're going to be repeating, not repeating, but Aaron Lepresti's got two updates here, so we're going to be going through both of them relatively quickly here. So let me get to get to the first one here. Let me find it here. Come on, Bear. You can do it. You can do it, Bear. I know you can. All right. From Aaron Lepresti out there. Greetings, P Money. Greetings. Good to have you here. Great to have P Money here. All right. So we were talking about Aaron Lepresti and the Loprestiverse. Yes, indeed. He says the last Loprestiverse a character sticker. He says hi. Actually, let's just go ahead and why am I talking about it when I can actually just show it here? There we go. There we go. Empress? I don't know how you pronounce it. You'll have to ask Aaron. Anyways, he says, hey everyone, and it looks like it's time for another Wraith of God update, and you could probably set your watch to that almost. As of this moment, I'm inking. Actually, this was from a little last week and a half ago or so. He says, as of the moment a little while ago, he's inking page 61 of the 78-page graphic novel. That means we're getting closer to the finish line. Finally. It'll also able this. What? Hold on. I was also able this past week to get the final stretch goal sticker done of yet another Loprestiverse character. To refresh everyone's memory, all backers will receive a 6-character set of the Loprestiverse characters, completely free with their order. It includes the Wraith of God, the Garbage Man, one of Bear's favorites out there, the Nightclub, Kit Carter, Galactic Ranger, Power Cubed, and finally, Empyrus. I don't know how you pronounce it. Who is Empyrus? How do you pronounce his name? I don't know. Very strategically covering that garment. You normally want to wear probably some pants when you go outside, but you know what? I guess if maybe your kind of hoodie will support it, I guess it can kind of wrap around some areas there. Let's see. Time will tell as Empire Comics and the Loprestiverse move forward. But please enjoy the image and the mystery, and thank you for backing and supporting this exciting campaign. Yeah, it's very, very exciting. Like I said, you could probably pretty much set your watch to the times that Aaron does a update here. Actually, I'm just gonna go ahead and skip ahead of the line here, as it were. Go ahead and bring up the next one here. But yeah, he's got that sticker. Let me see. He had another sticker here as well. There we go. I think that's part of it as well. Let's see. I think that's the Wraith, and I'm not sure who the other 2 characters there are, but man, oh man, I tell you what, you're gonna get a cornucopia of stickers out there. And you can slap them on the car, or maybe the gas pump over there if it's too much for you, and cover up the dollar amount there, and maybe pretend that you're paying in stickers or something like that. But anyways, a number of great stickers out there that he has. Let's go ahead and get on to the second update. I think this is pretty recently, the 14th, 2 days ago. 2 days ago or so. So, yeah, pretty much every week here. I'm sorry. P-Money says, well, I keep forgetting the good work Aaron Lepresti art is. Well, I don't know how you keep forgetting. He puts it up just about every week here. So, anyways. My daughter saw I was watching you and asked, why do bears hibernate? Because we get tired sometimes, I tell you what. I answered, reviewing so many comics makes you tired. Yes, indeed. Well, digging through garbage cans, foraging the river for salmon when there's no salmon out in the river. It's just mullet and bass and all the other stuff. Mullet is actually a fish. It's not a hairstyle. Well, it's also a hairstyle, but the mullet fish don't actually have a mullet hairstyle. But anyways, enjoying the mullet out there. All sorts of stuff. It makes bear tired. I tell you what. Has to take a little bit of a several day, maybe a couple weeks long nap there. Just try and rest it off. You could be out there in the cold, the free. We actually had some cold weather here, P-Money. I know you wouldn't believe it, but it actually froze here the other day. I tell you what, bear was pretty cold from that. So no snow, but definitely froze here. So anyways, all right. What time? Bear's getting gibbered and jabbered here. Okay, another Wraith of God update. All right, let me get a drink for crying out loud. Oh, that's hot. Man. Okay. Anyways, hi everyone. Hey, Aaron. I'm currently working on page number 64 Holy cow, of this 78-page Wraith of God graphic novel. Have you been doing the math? No, Bear hasn't been. Bear was told there was going to be no math. He has been averaging 3 pages every week. Wow. At that rate, I should have the book completed by early April. Wow, that's coming up. And he says, Gabe is right behind me on the coloring, so the book should be headed to the printers sometimes in April as planned. There you go. Also, Shelley, the great Shelley out there. Shelley and I have been working on getting some Wraith of God swag put together. I think he's got a collection of swag already here with the stickers and everything else. Bookmarks and yada yada yada. Trading cards, all that good stuff. Right now we have been designing work on t-shirts. Ooh, I hope they have like extra large t-shirts. And we have had some laser etched shot glasses in production. There you go. You down one, and then check out your Wraith of God. As soon as we can, we will get these items up on the campaign page. Of course, you, Bear, will be the first to know. Thank you all for supporting this exciting campaign and making it possible. He's got this sort of Richard C. Meyer bolding every other word here. Not really sure where he's going with that, but there you go. There you are. There is the update. He's getting very close here. Page 64 of 78. So let's see if he's going basically 3 pages a week. You're probably talking a good 3 to 4 weeks there, and he's gonna have that wrapped up. Very cool, Aaron. Very much looking forward to Wraith of God. Actually, I don't know if Peabody heard me earlier, but I was kind of wrapping up some of the stuff on some of the earlier works that Bear did, either live shows or some of the other stuff. And actually came across the what was it called? It's the anyways, his sketchbook that he had released. I think it came with this one, although I think they sold out, if I'm not mistaken. Anyways, had a garbage man in there that he drew as a remark. So very cool. Very much looking forward to Wraith of God here. All right, let me get rid of that and go on to the next thing here. When you do the thing with the thing, and one of these days, we will actually do a professional show. Not today, though. Not today at all. All right. God, and unfortunately, this was from the other day, so the graveyard shift number 4 actually is already closed. So hopefully they'll do a, what do they call that? The sort of spite campaign. Hopefully they'll have one of those. Who knows? Somebody will say something. They'll have to have a spite campaign and open it up again. But anyways, do not check out the volume 4 there. Anyways, let me read it and get into it here. He says, "Hi everyone. Let me actually, while I'm talking about it here, I tell you what, Bear. One of these days, if we're talking about godlike, we need to go ahead and show some. There we go. Show some great artwork here from John Malin. All right, godlike. Wow, John Malin says, I am so proud of the work being created. I have spent many an hour, not just one, many a hour. It should be an, John. Gosh darn it. I tell you what. A terrible pronunciation. I'm spending many an hour trying to fill every inch with something cool. Every page has background characters that have sharp designs that make me just want to keep expanding on story-wise. They live, breathe, and likely only die in 18 of 48 epic pages are already done and on schedule. I totally mangled that. Let me try that again. They live and breathe, likely only to die. Period. 18 of 48 epic pages are already done and on schedule. Well, a little bit behind Aaron Lepresti there, but that's okay. That's all right. All right, let me get out of that because he talks about... Let me find it here. For crying out loud, one of these days. There we go. Talking about a graveyard shift of volume number 4, The Black Emperor. Isn't that like the Canadian Prime Minister, I think? I'm not sure. Is closing last Thursday night. These books are done, and we're lettering and doing a pre-press right now. We're heading to the press in a week or two and start sending them to you as quickly as we can sign them up upon return. Very cool. We never go in demand, so if you haven't got your gotten your let's try that again. We never go in demand, so if you haven't grabbed one of these days, I tell you what, haven't grabbed a copy yet, return. Uh, One of these days. Haven't grabbed a copy yet? Run to this link below right now for your first printings. This is your last chance for this campaign. Unfortunately, it was your last chance because it's completely closed. We're doing some incredible work, and it's all thanks to your support. Godlike and Graveyard Shift are two of the greatest projects that will go great together for the inevitable crossover that these titans, of these titans. We won't let you down! Exclamation point! John, there you go. So apparently they're going to be doing a crossover. So very cool. I actually thought that Godlike was like thousands of years in the future or something like that. So maybe they had some sort of time jump with Graveyard Shift. You never know. All right, let's move along. Move along with all these campaign updates that we got to do. I tell you what, people, so many campaign updates to do, including Kiri Shipman. He says, Titan Mouse of Mike, for crying out loud. Let me get a drink for, I tell you what, you take a week off. You start slurring your words. You forget how to speak English. It's terrible. All right, anyways, Titan Mouse of Mike, book number 1, the color books have arrived. Hey everyone, hey Gary, and the Titan Mouse of Might number 1 books have arrived. I just said that from the printer and are still in demand on Indiegogo. So there you go. Neat little color Titan that he had there. Let the fulfillment begin. Your friend, not fiend, your friend in comics, Gary Shipman. So very much looking forward to that. Actually, Bear got the email the other day that it's being shipped. So hopefully be able to do maybe a box open or something here. Maybe check it out. Let's see. P Money says we actually haven't had too many ComicsGate crossovers. For crying out loud. That's true. That's actually true. Monster Hunt was one. That's all that I can think of. That's all that I can think of. So yeah, there you go. If they actually have a crossover with Godlike and Graveyard Shift, that would be neat. I would like to see that. That would be pretty cool. I can't think of any other crossover there. Let's see. I take that back. What was it? Shinobi Sasquatch, right? Was that one? I think that was one that they crossed over with. Oh, they've also done the crossover with USA Assassin and Graveyard Shift. So that was actually the USA Assassin book number 3. So there you go. Let's see. I learned something new about bears. When bears take a week off, they slur their words. Getting a little bit of a head start for St. Patrick's Day. So there you go. There you are. Okay, anyway, so yeah, very neat with some of the covers there. Get back on there. Some of the covers there, so very much looking forward to that. Hopefully be able to check that out here pretty shortly, but you never know with the postmen and some of their deliveries. I tell you, sometimes they deliver and sometimes they don't. You never know. All right, another great book. You talk about going from friends to fiends. I tell you what, checking out. What was it called? A Terror in the Trenches? He says we did it. Finally. Greeting fiends. Some Terror in the Trenches news. They broke a 50K with 10 hours left. Terror in the Trenches has made a huge splash in the indie scene. With 50K has unlocked bomber patches. Very cool for all your physical backers. So you can get your patch and put it on your riding jacket. Go ride the hog, as it were. Yes, indeed. Let's see. To those that backed Monster MD and Terror in the Trenches, I thank you. Very cool. You can still get a second chance on Monster MD books on the Terror campaign as an add-on. Bear would recommend that. Monster MD, a very thick book. Gosh, I don't know how many pages that was. He could have easily split that in half, and the first half would have been a great book. But no, they added a whole other half of a book to it. So very cool. He says, thank you all for your amazing support. See you on the campaign trail of the Monster. I'm assuming I'm assuming he means the book campaign and not. I don't know if I don't know if the Vonster is going to run for office or something. That would be interesting. That would be interesting. I would back Von Klaus for higher office, as it were. Yes, indeed. All right, so there you go. Actually had some. Let me find it here. Had some neat scans the other week there from Terror in the Trenches. So very cool. A very interesting looking book. I like the artwork that they had in there. Of course, the colors. The colors actually came out really great as well. So another great book. You've got some of the main comics out there. Your Cyber Frog, your Godlikes, all that sort of stuff. It's nice to be able to find some of the you hate to call it smaller or anything like that, but maybe lesser known books out there, and sometimes they actually make a bigger impression than the bigger books do. There we go. All right. Anyways, let me pull up another one here for you people here. And as actually, in matter of fact, Bear's actually last video was talking about the latest book from Richard C. Meyer. Kind of an interesting thing that they're doing there. It's kind of on the opposite of what you see some of the other maybe larger campaigns do, where and Bear's kind of talking about this in the past, where they do, like for example, a Graveyard Shift went through the 60 days and closed down their campaign. They actually told everybody ahead of time, no in-demand stuff. Once we're closing it, it's closed, it's done. Some other books kind of leave it open for, maybe a year or two, or however late they are, sometimes leaving that open for people. Richard C. Meyer, he kind of does stuff a little bit different. Number one, it's kind of very pared down, so basically it's the book, and maybe a previous book or something like that. That's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot of tiers that you can add to it. It's usually like one or two tiers, and that's about it. So he's got a new book with only 1 week. He's only putting it out there for 1 week. So I'm thinking, let's see, March 12th. So it should still be in demand or up there. Let's see, 1 week only. The new Theosophy. However you pronounce it, a book launches on Indiegogo. Hi everyone. Hi Richard. A crowdfunding campaign for the new Theosophy. Theosophy? I don't know. Pardon Bear here. A book that is set in the same universe as Pandemic and Do As You're Told, The Ballad of No. It has just launched on Indiegogo, and you can find it here. Of course, he gives the breakdown. An unfunny TikTok comedian helps a shoplifter finance his roommate's trip to where Russian invaded Ukraine. There we go. So, I don't know anything about the Pandemic or the No book. Again, those were kind of some books that kind of came and went really quickly. So Bear never actually got to check either of those out. So I can't really say how this kind of compares to the other books or how it fits in or anything like that. But there you go. Kind of something interesting there. He's doing a 1 week campaign, and then that's it. So I'm wondering if they already have it kind of written or kind of at least laid out, I guess. Kind of laid out a little bit. So probably be able to turn around real quickly and print it and ship it out to people. Which, by the way, let me get to... There we go. Is This You book. So if you haven't gotten to check it out, check out Beer's box open that he did just the other day. Neat stuff there. An unfunny TikTok creator, P-Money asked. I find a majority of them unfunny and mostly just annoying. There you go. Beer wouldn't know, doesn't have the TikTok and wouldn't know where to find it. So there you go. There you are. That would be kind of an interesting, not that Beer wants to get on TikTok or anything like that, but I bet you Beer could kind of take over a TikTok, a dancing bear? Maybe a dancing bear. What else do they do on TikTok? I'm not even sure. Usually it's somebody just talking to the camera or something like that. whatever, for a minute or something like that. Bear needs to expand upon his thoughts more than just a minute. But anyways, yeah, Bear could dance. Bear could dance. Maybe, you know what? Bear might do one of those for one of the shorts. Just a Bear dance video or something like that. I think that would generate the clicks out there. All right. Anyways, fulfilling update from Richard C. Meyer out there. He says, I always love getting pictures from backers, like the one below. Actually, Bear sent him a picture as well. I probably freaked out about that and deleted it, but who knows? Let's see. I always love getting pics from backers, like the one below. But the Fulfillment Center just updated me that there will be a short hiatus in fulfillment. Oh no, they ran out of Gemini mailers for domestic shipping, and the replacements aren't due to arrive for another week. They are having some technical issues with their shipper, the foreign shipments, I'm sorry, P-Money, which is making them unable to print labels until that is resolved. You can just write it on there with, like, crayon or something like that, can you? Altogether, about half of the books have shipped, but only to domestic backers so far. I will give you an update when fulfillment resumes. We're ahead of schedule. I'm happy to say, yes indeed. Thanks, Richard. And of course, you got this picture here with this guy with a wall with Nerf guns. That's interesting. I guess you couldn't show the real guns. I guess you couldn't show that. So there you go. There you are. Yeah, I think it was kind of a neat sort of turnaround, and a neat sort of how would you describe that? Going from the Expendables campaign, which kept getting delayed and all that sort of stuff, where they were able to come up with Is This You? Be able to kind of come out with the campaign and kind of turn it around real quickly. They were able to do, I think they were shipping off the shipping information to the fulfillment center before the books got there, so they can kind of go through their process and have everything ready. Obviously not for the foreign shipments, but at least for the domestic backers here. So they had all that stuff ready to go. I think it was, about a week, maybe a week and a half, when the fulfillment center got it, and they kind of turned it around and was shipping it out to people. So that actually came around pretty quick, so that was nice to have kind of a sort of different interpretation on that, where they actually kind of turned the book around real quickly. The only thing that Bear had to say kind of, haven't gotten through it all the way just yet, but I kind of wish that the Is This You book was colored. It's black and white, so if you're familiar with Narwhal's book, what was that one? Foreign Agent. If you're familiar with Foreign Agent out there, it was black and white as well, so I really thought that Narwhal would have done a little bit better if it was colored. I think some of the stuff on there got a little bit muted, and I think some of his colors would have allowed it to kind of pop out. Think of something like 499. I think if this book was kind of similar to 499 with the sort of colored pages, I think it would have turned out a lot better. Not that it's a bad book or anything like that, but you gotta wonder whether or not that was part of the turnaround process. It might take an extra, couple, 2-3 months or something like that to get it colored and, sent off and sent back and forth, and they get the colors right and everything. So maybe they were trying to avoid some of that sort of stuff, but it kind of felt that might have detracted from it. But again, it was great to see that they were able to turn it around real quickly and get it at least into most of the backers' hands out there. So yeah, again, a very different sort of campaign style, how they do these things, compared to some of the other campaigns out there, which, leave them open for, I don't know, a year, 2 years, however long the book has taken to get done there. So, yeah, very interesting. Very cool. There we go. All right, let's see. What was the last one here? I had one more here to do. One more to do. We'll find it here. We will find it. No, it's not that one. Gosh dang it. One of these days. One of these days. There we go. There we go. Another one from kind of, I guess, on a lark, I guess you could say. Bear kind of checked out some of the Alterna Comics not that long ago. You can check out the box open in a little bit after the stream is ended here. But, yeah, very, very impressed. Very, And they did a really good job. Very commendable on the job that Alterna Publishing Pete out there did. Very cool. They got, gosh, I forget. I think it's maybe 8 books. 8 or 9 books, something like that. And that they got put out. Let's see, Downcast was one. Trying to remember some of the other ones. Anyways, they were able to come in and relatively quickly too. So Bear is going to keep recommending Alterna Comics out there. Actually was wearing the beanie the other day when it was freezing cold outside. So yeah, very much into the Alterna Comics. Anyways, he's got an update here, 100% fulfilled. He had some issues with the oh, I got it right here actually. Of course, Bear doesn't have the camera on, so you can't actually see it, but it actually kind of came out with this little collector case that you can kind of keep your books in here, so very cool, very cool, but they were having some issues with that. I think they got a number of them out, and they were short by a couple or something like that, so he finally got 100% fulfilled, so very cool. Everything from this campaign has now been sent out, and it is 100% fulfilled. Yes, indeed. About 20 people will get their collector cases over the next week or two, along with some of their perks from the winter campaign that are now available to ship out. I'm still waiting on the winter campaign books to arrive here. He says they should arrive sometime in mid-April, but this fall campaign is 100% el dano, el completo, el finished. And leaving people hanging here, the spring campaign launches on March 20th. There you go. Let's see, what was that? 5 days from now. 4 days from now. Sign up on our pre-launch page, and you'll get a Chiron Morvella alternative. I think that is the book that he is doing. Publishing Pete is doing. Chiron Morvella Alterna foil card. I tell you what, the tongue just isn't. It's just not doing it for Bear today. You'll get a foil trading card when you become a backer. So there you go. Pretty cool. Pretty cool on that. So yeah, I definitely would recommend checking out the Alterna Comics. One of the other things is they're relatively cheap. I think, gosh, I'm trying to remember the price on there, but it was relatively cheap. $5 or something like that for one of the books there. So Bear ended up just getting like the whole collection there, and it came with a case as well. So very cool, very cool. Definitely, once again, recommend checking them out. Very cool. Not only price-wise, they turned them around pretty quickly. Came in very nicely and everything. Got a little beanie out of it, so there you go. Pretty cool. But yeah, I would recommend checking out the Alterna folks, especially if you kind of find some of the books out there might be a little bit kind of a higher priced. You know, everything, I mean, with all the stuff going on, you know, the gas prices going up and all the prices are going up. You know, I think this is one of the things that Bear's been ringing the bell on, and just trying to figure out a way to kind of reduce some of the cost on some of these campaigns where, you know, the books are, you know, $35. Some of the books, you know, now are coming signed at like a $50, $60 tier or something like that. We really need to kind of bring that down. We kind of probably, I don't know what a good range would be. Probably maybe $20, $25, something like that. Especially if you got a smaller campaign. Have it signed, and I think that would be a better price point, especially if people are kind of comparing different books. I don't think people are going to, like, you know, you're going to hear something on one of the streams out there, hey, go check out this book, and, oh gosh, it's $5 more than the other book, I'm not going to buy it. You know, maybe not, but yeah, I think that is definitely just kind of one of the smaller campaigns. It's definitely something to have in your feather, in your cap there. Hey, not only is it a good book that you should check out, maybe you've got a series of books out there that you can kind of, you know, fall back on. Hey, I've fulfilled the campaign, that sort of deal. And then say, hey, and also it's going to be cheaper than the last book. So you'll get the same amount of pages, the same amount of work, same great quality, but, you know, $5 cheaper or something like that. You know, it might just fill up the what do you call that? The shipping fees or something like that. But yeah, I think that would be a good good use of time for some of these campaigns, just to try and figure out how maybe to kind of reduce the cost for some of the people out there. All right, that was kind of a complete sidetrack here as far as some of that stuff, but yeah, definitely check out Alterna Comics out there. Yes, indeed. All right, let me get back. Let me get back to the thing. With the thing. All right, let's see. Beer had a couple news stories here. It's kind of hit or miss on some of the news stuff out there. Not really kind of thrilled about either of them or anything like that. Let's see. P-Money says Alterna works hard to fulfill their campaigns. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Actually, that's kind of one of the reasons that Bear kind of likes checking that out. Again, it's you see a lot of the larger campaigns out there, and sometimes they suck a little bit of the oxygen out of the room. So it's always nice to have, some of the, I keep trying to call them smaller campaigns. They're not smaller in any sense other than just the dollar amount that they're receiving. Some of the quote-unquote smaller campaigns out there, we were talking about Monster MD. I mean, he comes out with a book, I forget however many pages it was, over 100 pages. A really great quality stuff out there. It went over $100,000, but some of the other ones kind of, slip under the radar or something like that. Bear's very big on Kyung Lee. I mean, not only talking about delivery, but just a great artwork and storyline as well. Some of these other places, we talk about Aaron Lepresti and all the other folks out there doing just some great work. I'll throw Gary Shipman in there as well. I'm probably forgetting a number of people, but yeah, I mean, some of the quote-unquote smaller campaigns out there, they deserve just as much as attention as some of the bigger campaigns out there. So, and we try to kind of extend our hand out there just a little bit, kind of at least hopefully help them out just a touch. Beer's news is surprisingly more than just the salmon report. Yes, indeed. All right, well, we'll go through one and we'll see how it works. I don't know. Again, it's one of these things. We'll see. Let me find it here. Get off of that. And get on to that. There we go. All right, so, the continuing saga of Juicy, however you pronounce his stupid name, Smollett, says, free Jussie. Anyways, he actually went to jail for kind of a faux hate crime. He decided to hoax himself, apparently. Didn't hoax anybody else, he just kind of hoaxed himself here. So, let's see, free Jussie, says Empire castmate, Teresa P. Henson, compares him with Emmett Till. Holy cow, that's a comparison. That's a comparison and a half here. This is, by the way, from Deadline and Bruce Herring. Bruce Herring out there at Deadline. Here you go. Let's see, Instagram, the great Instagram, is rapidly becoming the go-to source of Jussie Smollett's defenders. Well, they can stay there. You can stay in the Instagram. Just don't come out. Don't come out anywhere. Today, Smollett's fellow Empire castmate, Miss Henderson, described the services, took to the service, rather, to plead for home confinement. Rather, I'm sure, in his hovel there, in his multi-million-dollar hovel there. For home confinement rather than jail, who was sentenced Thursday to 150 days in the clink for his role in creating a hate hoax. Some might say a hate hoax crime. Yes, indeed. She posted a stark black and white message with the hashtag out there, Free Jussie, and a full-throated call for his release. Why? As Smollett is reportedly Smollett is reportedly in the Cook County Jail's psych ward, where high-profile prisoners are kept. Also ones that keep yelling out in court, I'm not crazy, I'm not suicidal. I'm not here to debate you on his innocence, Henson wrote. Well, I am. He's guilty. Guilty as sin, Bear says. Guilty as sin. But we can agree that the punishment does not fit the crime. No, it doesn't. He should have got a lot more time. Should have got a lot more time. I would have loved to see, the picking up on the side of the road trash or something like that. Emmett Till was brutally beat and ultimately murdered because of a lie. Unlike Free Jesse. But none of the people involved with his demise spent one day in jail, even after Carolyn Bryant admitted that her claims were false. Unlike Mr. Smollett, who is still holding on to the to the Nigerian Trump supporters out there. All right. Anyways, excuse me here. Here we go. Henson added, no one was hurt or killed during Jesse's ordeal, although he wanted people to have that happen to them. He's already lost everything. Everything! To me, as an artist, not being able to create, that in itself is punishment enough. Hasn't he been punished enough, people? Come on, people. Come on, man! He can't get a job. Well, sure he can. He can go down to the local Mickey D's and go flip some burgers. I'm sure he'll be just fine there. No one in Hollywood, no one will hire him. And again, as an artist who loves to create, that is the real prison. Yes, people, that is the real prison. My prayer is that he is freed and put on the multi-million-dollar house arrest and probation, because in this case, that would seem fair. Please, hashtag Free Jesse. Free Jesse. Yes, indeed. So there you go. There you go. That's the one news story that Bear kind of came up with here. I tell you what. I mean, the world going to hell in a handbasket. Here we're trying to free Jesse. Free Jesse out there. Yes, indeed. The guy who taught us the importance of Subway sandwiches. Yes, I mean, for taking a fake beating from some Nigerian Trump supporters out there. Yeah, he held on to his sandwich. I mean, you gotta give him credit for going out in the middle of winter at 2 a.m. to go to. I mean, listen. Let's also back up. We gotta give a hand to the people at Subway for making a sandwich at 2 a.m. for old Jussie Smollett. I wonder if anybody got an autograph out of that. I wonder if anybody cared to get an autograph out of that. All right, people. All right. We come here for the campaign updates and some comic talk. We sometimes stay for the crazy news stories. But the real reason that we come here is, of course, the NFT talk. Yes, indeed. All right, so do we want to even talk about NFTs? Can we even go there? I tell you what, actually, I gotta give our good friend out there. You know, some people say, Bear, why are you so against Mike Miller? Bear's not against Mike Miller. I think he's doing silly NFT stuff, but hey, you know what? It's making him money, so that's fine. I think it's the wrong way to go. But there's no hatred towards Mike or anything like that. I do gotta give him credit though. He did have a sort of AMA a crypto stream the other day. They were talking about some of that stuff, and it's kind of interesting. They were talking about how great it was. Oh, great! You know, the world's going to hell in a handbasket, and at least we got the Bitcoin out there to kind of get us through the day. You know, I mean, they might cancel your bank account or something like that, but you still got your Bitcoin or NFTs or whatever, and Bear kind of just jumped in the chat real quickly and says, hey, what was it? Coinbase and one of the other ones. I forget which one it was, but they closed down. If you were a Russian, you were just minding your own business, drinking vodka. You had nothing to do with anything else. You wake up one day, and of course, your Coinbase wallet is completely locked out. You can't get to it. I mean, you didn't have any participation at all in any of this. Now all of a sudden, I mean, the whole grand plan of decentralized peer-to-peer sort of stuff, it kind of went out the window, and now you're multi-billion dollar Coinbase account has been completely frozen and locked out. So it's kind of interesting if you go back and watch the video on that. It was a kind of a turn of events there. It was like, oh yeah, well maybe of course you get. You take your wallet, you run it through the ringer, and you go through this laundry service and this and that, and you mix it up and a whole bunch of other stuff. And yeah, of course you can still trade it there, but I mean, not that many of us have PhDs in mixing of cryptocurrencies out there. So I gotta give, I gotta give the old dirt worm a little bit of credit there as well. He actually asked a very important question, which is, if that stuff sort of becomes either highly regulated or maybe it becomes actually a ban, like in China or something like that. Are you still going to do the NFT stuff? Are you still going to do the Bitcoin stuff? And it kind of was like, well, do we want to be breaking the law or not? That's kind of a big question there. So if you're trying to skate around or avoid some of that stuff by being either anonymous or decentralized or something like that, man, oh man, it's not like what it was promised is a kind of peer to peer. Everybody's going to the centralized, Coinbase or OpenSea or something like that. So any centralized system there can be shut down on you. So, anyways, that was kind of a very interesting talk. I gotta give him some credit there for kind of taking Beer's comment there and completely closing down the stream very quickly afterwards. So that was kind of funny. Let's see. Beer not talking about NFT is like Beer not wanting to eat salmon when offered. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, this was a neat one from what was it, Decrypt? It was kind of a long one, kind of a long article here, but yeah, they were kind of basically talking about some of the points that Bear's been talking about over the time here. I'm gonna go back. I'm not gonna read this for crying out loud. For crying out loud, man. Come on, man. All right. Anyways, so there we go. There we are. So anyways, we don't always have to talk about NFTs. No, we don't. So all right. Well, you know what? I think that's probably a pretty good place to wrap things up, as it were. Oh, once again, I'll send the you look up at the very top of the chat here. Go check out Barely Live on the YouTube. That's Bear's alternate channel here. Gonna start taking down some of the live shows on this channel, so it's all gonna be over there on the other channel over there. So you can have some fun. Check it out. We've made some chapters and stuff like that. So if you want to check out maybe your favorite book or something like that, we were talking about Is This You, and kind of comparing it with the Expendables out there. It's kind of interesting going through, month after month after month of that stuff, and, here's another update from the Expendables. Here's another update from the Expendables. Here we go with another update from the Expendables. So, that was kind of neat, kind of seeing that over time, rather than kind of how we do it here, just kind of in the moment, in res, as it were. So, that was pretty neat. Very neat. Anyways, go check out Barely Live, and of course, Bear will have some important information here, hopefully within the next couple days, maybe a week or so. So do keep your ears to the ground on that one. All right. Well, thank you, P Money. I hope you take care as well. All right, people. Well, I hope we had some fun here. I hope that Bear is not the sum of your fear, but he could be. He very well could be. All right, people. Well, you know what? All this talk, even the thought about NFTs, you know what? It's made Bear hungry. So he's gonna head back into the woods. So until next time, people, grrrr.